All right, chat. Let's do it. Draft time. Season 4 draft 2027. Let's see how this goes. You have the 3rd overall pick. I have the 4th. I get a trade offer from the Reds. Graham Ashcraft for Josh Bell. No. Sal Frelick has been dealt to the Tigers for old Jackson Jobe, Jet Williams, and Juan Eliz. What are the Tigers thinking? They've had a really weird start to the season. Just not worried about the futures game. So again, chat, you have the 3rd pick. There's no denying. If Henry Estrada's there, he's probably the guy. Although, you look at who else is towards the top of the board. Steven Trayer, Kent Lentz, Nicholas. JT Karros is there as well. It does say the 4th, but I'm pretty sure you still have the 3rd. Karros looked... I don't remember actually how he looked from my board. I'll look in a second. There's a lot of starting pitching available. That's for sure. The top of my board still showing a lot of the guys that you looked at. My scouts really like Hiroyuki Kobayashi in left. Like, really like him. JT Karros was looking pretty good. Let's see how it plays out. Here we go. The 2027 MLB drafts. You indeed have the 3rd pick. I have the 4th. It is Oakland and Toronto in the top 2. What will the Athletics do? They have quite a history with the top pick. And they select outfielder Diego Oliva. That was somebody that my scouts liked a decent amount. Diego Oliva goes 1st overall. One more to go, chat. 2nd overall, the Blue Jays select Boone Hernandez. Starting pitcher that your scouts did not like nearly as much as the Blue Jays. That brings up an interesting choice for you guys here. So, any disagreement with taking the 2nd baseman, Henry Estrada? I mean, he does look like he could be insane. I see Hulk shouting out starting pitching. Daniel also shouting out starting pitching. So, we'll throw it to a vote. You have Estrada as a 2nd baseman. You have the closer in Steven Trayer. Don't know if you want to take a closer this early. No one really shouted out a closer. But you do have Kent... oh, excuse me. Kent Lentz as a starting pitcher. Oh, man. Kent Lentz could be outrageous. Kent Lentz could be pretty damn good. And then from there, another starter. The younger option, Rafael DeJesus. Could also be pretty damn good. And then the other starter, Rob Wimberly. Almost a guaranteed A potential at 22 years old for Rob Wimberly. And it drops off from there. Chad, it's going to be one of those 4 based off of what I was seeing. Who do you want with the 3rd overall pick? Will it be the 2nd baseman, Henry Estrada, or one of the starters? And the dissenting votes have gotten swarmed. Estrada is the guy. We'll call the vote right then and there. Henry Estrada on his way to the Rockies. It's a done deal. He was projected 1st overall. You guys got him at 3. He did opt out of the doctor's exam. Time will tell. That brings up the White Sox at 4. Right. So I know Trayer is interesting. Not that I really need a closer. Kobayashi's a risk, but man, if my scouts are right, ooh, he could have some good power. He could have some good power if my scouts are right. I could take Kent Lentz off of what your scouts were saying. There's also JT Karos. Very likely a B. Could be an A. Looks to be a defense first outfielder. And then Elvin Garrison is a first baseman. Could be a really good contact hitter. Like you need more pitching. Well, I don't necessarily. And then there's Wimberly. So for me, it's either Wimberly, Garrison, probably avoid Karos, Lentz, or Kobayashi. If I were to go for a position player, Kobayashi potential is higher. The overall range is about the same. They're both young players, and I just don't know for sure. I really don't need another starter, but it did look like both Lentz and Wimberly were going to be decent, so I have the choice of best player available or risk it and go for need. There is a chance that Elvin Garrison could be outrageous. Obviously, I can't trust those ratings for those two, but for me, it is a Lentz or Garrison, I think. Do I go for the guy that I think is the best player left on the board? Or do I go for need? I got to go for need. I got to do it at this point. If I need another good starter, I can go to free agency. When the hell was Garrison projected to go? 51st. I mean, that's the problem. Both Garrison and Kobayashi are projected for the second round. I have a competitive balance round A pick. I gotta hope that one of them falls. That's the play. I gotta hope that one of them falls. Kent Lentz. But if I don't play it that way, maybe I can get Garrison and Kobayashi. If I get both of them and they're both good, that turns into an insane. I'm risking it. Elvin Garrison, fuck it. Fuck it. I'm gonna hope that I get both of them. Elvin, welcome aboard. I need to hope that you're good. You're a huge risk. Gotta go for it. I already have good starters. I gotta go for it. There is a chance he could be a steal and a half, or he's gonna be bad. No in between. I'm all right with it. I need Kobayashi to fall. Again, for Oliva, my scouts had scouted him out, viewed him as potentially pretty good. Your scouts had looked at Boone Hernandez, didn't really like him for the first round. JT Karos, who my scouts did like a lot. I didn't like his attributes as much. He goes 5th. Omar Varela, second baseman that you guys looked at. Your scouts didn't like him as much. He goes 6th to Washington. Giants take second baseman Lance Powers, who your scouts also did not like as much. Fire Cannon, I can't help you with that. Milwaukee take Kent Lentz. There he goes. There he goes. I had to go for need. I had to try for the 2-for-1. Leo Rivera's off the board. My scouts didn't really like him at all, at least not as a first rounder. I know Lentz is going to be good, but I had to risk it. Wimberly goes 10th. That was a hell of a player that we both let fall all the way to 10. Robert Manuel, another starter off the board. Your scouts liked him quite a bit, too. Boston, take another starter, Josh Nance. This is my hope, is that a lot of starters go and Kobayashi doesn't appear. Rafael DeJesus, another starter. We identified that this was a very starter-heavy class. Indeed it is. Brian Rowland, another starter, goes off the board. Your scouts didn't view him as a first-rounder. Minnesota take second baseman Scott Farron, who your scouts hated. So, yeah, Enzabel, you still get alerts when people pull cards. Sammy Burgos, the center fielder, neither of us looked at him. So we don't really know how good he actually was. The Cubs take Jason Humber, who your scouts didn't like through 20%. Viewed him as like a third-round pick. Timothy Paulbicki, perhaps, if he's freaking Polish or something. Neither of us looked at him either. Baltimore, starting pitcher Michael Griffith. Again, your scouts didn't like. Come on, San Diego. Dougie Priest, the catcher. My scouts viewed him as a second-round pick on 50% scouted. Texas. Chris Fuentes, the first baseman. Again, my scouts viewed him as a second-round pick, so. Pittsburgh at 22. Fuck! Well, I'll see if I made the right choice taking Garrison over Kobayashi. Pittsburgh identified him as a potential steal as well. I liked Garrison more than Kobayashi based off of what it was telling me. Time will tell if I was right. But I was really hoping. Again, that's why when it's like, you reached for a guy 51st. Yeah, because the AI are smart. Wyatt Anderson, the center fielder. Neither of us knew anything about him. Joaquin Mesa, shortstop. We didn't know anything. Adam Grimm. Your scouts liked him quite a bit. Could be a good value pick for Philly. And then Harry Willie. Second rounder, according to your scouts. Kevin Fritz. Decent pick for Arizona. About on brand. Whew. Ernest Escobedo. My scouts liked him as a second rounder. Harry Willie, indeed. Is that better or worse than Nicholas? Time will tell. Speaking of Nicholas, there he goes to Atlanta. See you later, Nicholas. The world champion Astros select Kendrick Nicholas, center fielder. Prospect incentive round. Minnesota take the closer, Stephen Trayer. So I got a pick coming up here shortly. Tampa take Martin Benitez, who your scouts did not like at all. And Milwaukee, at 33, take another closer, Rick Ambrose. That brings me up at 34. In terms of who I have scouted, I wish I remembered some of the reliever situation that you guys had sorted out. Could risk it for the third baseman, Carlos Alfonso. Don't really like the attributes. Is there anybody else that my scouts really got some good info on? No one that's projected to go anytime soon. Yikes. Well, I'm in trouble here. I'm in trouble. I don't recognize too many of the relievers or too many of the position players. I'm going to have to go almost on blind faith for a starter or reliever based off of what I remember from your scouts and how they ranked people. Although, it's got to be off how you remember it. I could look, but let's see. Alfredo Magana. There was Joey Webster. I remember Kenji Matsui's name. I probably do need a reliever more than a starter, though. I don't remember if it was Fisher or Zapata who was better. I'd probably go for Zapata just because he's younger. In terms of relievers, I remember Davis Kingman was out there on your list. This sucks that my 2-for-1 plan didn't work. Sucks for me, at least. Davis Kingman or Andreas Zapata? Lefty for Kingman. Zapata's also a lefty. I'm going to risk it and go for a reliever who I don't know much about, but again, that's because my 2-for-1 plan didn't work. I'm going to go for Davis Kingman. I feel like he looked like he was good based off of your reports. Again, I could check, but I won't. Just trying to go off of memory. I'll take Davis Kingman. Okay. I'll actually be up next as well at pick 41. So, let's see. Fisher's off the board. Oh, shit, I think the other guy's still there. The closer's still there. I'm going to go 2-for-1 with Kingman and Zapata for the bullpen. I ended up with both of them. My ideal situation would have been to get the outfielder and then one of these two relievers, but hey, the two relievers aren't bad. So we'll see who's next in line for chat. You guys actually didn't look at Zapata. You actually didn't look at Kingman either. Oh shit, so I'm really going in blind. For you guys, let's see who's on the board. Risky picking Kohler. Let's see. Oof, Oscar Guzman, who your scouts had at 14. Alfredo Magana as a starter. Guaranteed B, but the overall could be low. I mean, for both of them, it's just a risk of how low is the overall. Who else do you have info on? Demetrius Clayton, pretty big risk. You got Louis Fisher as a starter. Similar situation. A reliever in Graham, another reliever in Jeff Griffin, who could be decent. Looks like chat's siding with starters. So in terms of starters, I mean, it really is Guzman or Magana. Louis Fisher's in the mix there, too. So it'll have to go to a vote. It'll have to go to a vote. So again, look at the potential and overall for Guzman. That's what the attributes look like. The only thing that's apparently really promising is the stamina. For Magana, his attributes as well also appears to be very heavily into stamina. Based off what you know about him and only 30% scouted. Keep in mind, Guzman's 100% scouted. And then 85% scouted. Nope, that's not who we wanted. Who the hell was the other one? It was Louis Fisher. Only 20% scouted for Fisher. And look at what those attributes look like. So, who's it going to be, chat? Who's it going to be? Looks like Guzman's probably going to win in a landslide because he's the more known commodity. But it's still your choice at the end of the day. Is Oscar Guzman the guy? Yep, we can end that poll already. There you go. Oscar Guzman on his way to Colorado. And you have the next pick as well in competitive balance round B, so we'll skip ahead through the second round. Probably won't be too many people left on the board that we know of, but let's see. In terms of scouted players, anybody that you have a good amount of info on? Reliever Damon Seaver, complete boom or bust. He could be insane. He could be awful. He has a lot of interest, though. You're almost guaranteed to be able to sign him. The question is, how good is he? I apparently missed Whitmore as well. Duly noted. Anybody else with interest? Carl Mize as a starter. Big shout out to Altica. If you're on Xbox, it should be out on Game Pass now. Try it there for free. Well, for the cost of Game Pass. Woodrow Fransky. It's a lot of high-risk, high-reward players right now. So I'm seeing Gene mentioned. I don't know if it was Deljean or whatnot. There's Orva Lind out there. Carl Mize, Woodrow Franschke. He was a closer. Forget the last name. Okay. Oh, he was a reliever then. Well, shit. Hold on. Closer, Gene Milano. Only 10% scouted. If that overall is sub 60, he's probably not going to make it. But that potential could be high. Could be, it could be. Then you got someone like Rayburn, who's a shot in the dark. We got people yelling Newton Whitmore. He might not have a super high ceiling, but a starting overall as a second baseman will be pretty good at a young age. You got Razor calling out Milano. Closer. You got Whitmore getting called out. Not much love for Damon Seaver. What do you guys think? I also just saw Estrada mentioned, but as the second baseman, you just took a lot of Newton and a lot of Milano. So let's see. Will it be a risk on the closer, Gene Milano? Or will it be another second baseman to kind of shore up at that position in Newton Whitmore? What do you guys think? Those are the two that were mentioned. More than anybody else. We had seen some of the other players down the road, but those were the two that were mentioned the most. So it was Carl Mize that we had looked at, but no one really mentioned him or the Franschke. So, close vote. 1 minute to go as well, so I'm not going to be able to let that vote run all the way through. So once this gets down to 30 seconds, whoever is winning that vote will be the selection for Chat's Rockies. If it's a tie, the AI chooses. So be decisive. Be decisive. Next vote wins. Fuck it. It's tied. I'll be nice. Next vote wins. Whitmore by 1 vote. Newton Whitmore is the pick. There you go. Newton Whitmore is the pick. Next pick belongs to the White Sox in round 3. Again, we're down to 1 minute timers now. Adrian Gonzalez, Orva Lind, Ned Smith, Peter McNally. Deljean's out there. I mean, I'm in best guess Franschke, Carl Mize. Could go for one of the starters that you didn't go for. And I'm probably going to have to do that because the vast majority of the rest of the players that I'm aware of are gigantic risks. So I am going to be going for the starter, Carl Mize. Try to go best available. Let's see. For chat, do you have info on anybody else at this point? Got Waddell. Do you have info on anybody? Not really. I mean, Franschke as a risk. All the closers are gone at this point. Yeah, you don't have too much info on anybody projected up anytime soon. So, I saw we need pitching. It's either you take the risk on Waddell or you take the risk on Cartwright or Jean. Jean has that potential 81 overall high end. Bulldogs and Warriors said Jean. Blame them if it's wrong. Deljean's the pick. Deljean. I like to think that he's French. All right. Let's see. Round number 4 up next. No idea who the hell I'm going to end up with. There's no way Greg Butler is actually that good. Right? Freddie Bentley, Eddie Carvajal, Oliver Weber, Jason Taguchi. Oh, man. Paul Cousins, Howard O'Reilly, and Wright. I'll risk it on Howard O'Reilly and hope that that overall is not terrible. Actually, I'll risk it for Brian Duncan at third base. There you go, Brian. Hope for the best there. For Chat's Rockies, let's see who the hell's left. Howard O'Reilly and right, but you already know he's not that good. Paul Cousins at catcher. Freddie Bentley in center. Steve Rubio. You look to pretty much be in best guess territory. Yeah, it's, you got a bit of info. You might as well take Oliver Weber. You have interest on him. Any disagreement? He could be good, he could be shit. That's the fourth round for you. Any disagreement on Oliver Weber? You don't really have too much info on anybody else. Take the right fielder I was going to take. You could do that too. I mean, he's just as big of a guess, and he doesn't help you guys at all. Weber's the pick. There you go. Oliver Weber on his way. Round number 5. Frank Hiller. Josh Saito. Pure risk. I mean, at this point, it's pretty much risk on anybody. It's either Hershtick. I'm going to go for Josh Saito and hope for the best. It's all we can do at this point. You just try to find the guys that might not be complete trash, but it's all toss-ups. For Chat's Rockies, in terms of anybody that you have scouted, Abdul Poe at second base, but you already took 2 second basemen. Another second baseman, Charlie Beam, but he's 22. Reliever, Otto Eichinger, but his overall is going to suck at 22. So yeah, you guys are pretty much going in blind for the rest of the draft. Could go for Frank Hiller, Fred Dotson, Ibarra at first. I'm seeing Otto mentioned a lot. Where the hell was Otto? If I can't go for him, I'll go for Richie. I don't know where the fuck Otto is. Chris Irvin. He's swerving. Well, congrats to Doug Ritchie as the pick. People were shouting Richie. So we went for Richie. Lamau rigged. People were shouting Richie just as much as Otto. He was the one that was there. Rigged my ass. Be more decisive. The 6th round. You know we only have a minute. God, do I have anybody here? Ray Quezada. Total shot in the dark. Anybody that's not trash, according to my scouts. Otto Eichinger's there. I won't take Otto. I mean, he'll be there for you guys. To avoid the rigged talks. I'll go for Ray Quezada. So, Otto, will he be your final pick? Yes, he will be. There you go. It all worked out, and you landed Otto regardless. There you go. That's going to be an interesting draft due to risks taken. I mean, every draft is interesting due to risks taken. Again, you guys end up with Henry Estrada, 3rd overall. I end up with first baseman Elvin Garrison. See if we made the right choices. I'm not sure if we did. Home run derby in Milwaukee. Jake Berger leading the way amongst participants. Jake Berger. Let's take a look at the All-Star game here and our representatives. How dare you rig it so chat gets both players they wanted, right? In the AL, who the hell is my representative? I got Caleb Ferguson as a reliever. He's probably my only guy. Hey, Kyle Teal made it. Let's go. Yeah. All right. Well, I get one pitcher. For you guys. No relievers that I noticed, at least. Wyatt Langford has made the All-Star game. That's not too bad. And Wyatt Langford made it. Make it, I should say. All right, we'll take a look at midseason stats once we are done with the whole draft portion of this. You guys get a trade offer. Ooh, from the Angels. A chance to move one of those shortstops in Liover Peguero for Spencer Howe. Never mind. That's not worth it for you at all. Not at all. That is a major loss of value. Jesus. All right. First day to sign picks. Let's see how this goes. Estrada, Guzman, and Whitmore up first. Estrada signs his deal. What about Guzman? Oscar Guzman signs, and Newton Whitmore declines. So you still have to work on him a little bit. Go for Jean and Weber up next. Deljean declines. Oliver Weber signs. You guys are down to the final two. Let's see. Doug Ritchie is not looking great, but still, he'll be a body for you guys. Yep, he signs. And then Eichinger at the end. Auto signs. All right, so you're down to two. All but two players signed out of your class so far. For myself, let's see. Oh, man, I am going to have to work on some of these guys in terms of interest. It could be rough. Garrison does sign, though. Brian Duncan. Duncan signs. Josh Saito declines. Jerk. Carl Mize in there. I'm going to have a little bit more work cut out for me here in terms of signing players than you guys did. I actually still can't offer these guys any deals. Oh boy. It's going to be bad news for me. Let's see. Whitmore has signed. You're down to your last prospect, Deljean. Max out that deal. There you go, chat. Every single one of your players have signed. So that was relatively painless for you. Oh, I know I still have other players, but the problem is I have to get these guys to 50% interest. And I'm going off of the guys who were drafted higher. I am well aware. Oh, Garrett for Edwin Arroyo. Do I look like a shortstop right now? I mean, I got Colson Montgomery. It's going to be a no. That is a no. Still trying to build up interest. Son of a bitch. Some of those blind picks are hurting me. Well, you guys did get a trade offer for Brenton Doyle. It'd be moving Brenton Doyle to Arizona for Jordan Diaz, who is currently hurt. You don't exactly need a third baseman, though. You got McGroin, considerations. That's a deal you don't need to make. Out for 2 to 3 more weeks with a broken hand. Oh my God, I am in trouble for these re-signings. Or for these draft pick signings. Gratterall for Villanueva. Now, you don't need a third baseman. Villanueva is 18A and a 58, though. You don't necessarily need a third baseman. But that is an interesting twist to the tail here. So far, it's a lot of passing. No deal. All right. Let's see. Holy shit, still? You fucks. I am screwed. There's no way I'm getting everybody. Cal Quantrill for Griffin Canning. Yeah. Making $1.2 million more, but he's 2 years younger and 4 points better. There's really no reason to not take that deal. They're both struggling. Quantrill is a 74. It's the top 2 players on each side of the list. There's really no reason to not take that deal. I mean, they're both cold right now, so they're both struggling. But in theory, you get the better player. What? Oh, how's Canning performed? How the fuck do you think Quantrill's performed? And he's declining. Sometimes you could take a deal at face value. Quantrill's got a 3.81 ERA and a 4.44 FIP. Canning's got a horrific ERA and a horrific FIP. However, he is significantly better. No deal. You guys are dumb if you don't take that deal. I'll throw it to a vote. You're dumb if you don't take that trade, but okay. Fair enough. Just for face value alone, it's worth it, especially Quantrill, who is declining at 32, making 4.7. Canning's still getting better in some regards. All right, well, that's a sweep of a deal. There you go. Smart move, chat. Good job. Not even being sarcastic. That is just a smart deal to make. Carl Mize, I can finally send you an offer. If you decline it, I'm going to punch you in the throat. 2 players left. Thank God I can already send a deal to Josh Saito. But he did decline it. I am low on time. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that interest up for Kazada anytime soon. I'm going to try, but... You guys get a trade offer from the Mariners for Taylor Trammell, who you don't need at all in center. No reason for that deal. Let's see. Then there were 3. I still don't have the interest on Zapata. Fuck. I gotta send that deal again to Josh Saito. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Saito. You did get a trade offer for Trammell earlier, yeah. 4 days left. I still got 3 dudes to sign. They really want to trade you, Taylor Trammell. They really do. They really want to trade you, Taylor Trammell. Sheesh. All right, let's see. Andreas Zapata has signed. I'm down to 2 players left. The Davis Kingman one is horrifying if I don't get that guy. Competitive balance pick. I don't think I'm going to be able to get him either. I'm not going to be able to build up the interest in time. I get a trade offer from the Royals. Michael Massey. That's going to be a no. Yeah, I think for the first time, I'm going to miss out on signing people as my connection to the Twitch server has died. So hi, YouTube. This is a part for you only as we wait to see if that reconnects. It's not my internet because I can still see chat. Interesting. Nice. Well, that's always nice to have your connection to the Twitch servers die. So, hey, we'll see what happens here. It's so dramatic. It's so dramatic. Can you tell I'm stalling, YouTube? Can you tell I'm stalling? Can you tell? Can you tell? Let's see. Oh, hold on. Has the internet died? Has it? No, my internet's still good. Hey, we're back, Twitch. We're back. Look at that. Look at that. We're back. Yeah, chat, that's all your fault for not trading for Taylor Trammell. That's your fault. You did it. Anyway, It's trade deadline day. I'm in big trouble in terms of being able to sign people. Noah Schultz for Will Smith. I don't need anybody to slap anybody, so. Will I be able to sign my last 2 picks? Oh, thank God I can offer Kingman a deal by 1 frickin' percent. Hey, there we go. Davis Kingman. Quezada. All right, so I missed out on Quezada, who was my 6th round pick, but that's okay. I got everybody else. So that is that in terms of the draft and the trade deadline. Now the big question. Chat. And again, yeah, like Crash said, refresh if you haven't. Is how good are these draft picks? How good are they? We will look at chats first. Let's see. Who did better? Give me 1 second here. Razor, I got all but one of my guys, and it was the 6th round pick. So, I'm looking okay. Looking all right. Man, Twitch just might be dying in general. I tried to refresh my streaming dashboard. I think Twitch is down. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. It says I'm connected. Yeah, Twitch might be getting fucking DDoSed at this point. Like, I just tried to load up a tab to check out on Friends. It took about 20 seconds to load. So, we are here for now. Twitch might be dying. We'll see. Let's take a look at these draft picks, shall we? We'll start off with Chats Rockies and Henry Estrada. You guys got a good one at 3rd overall. That is the second baseman, the long-term second baseman that you needed. He is fantastic at the plate. Henry Estrada, a tremendous pick for chat, 3rd overall. Oscar Guzman as a starter, not bad. 63 overall, 20 years old, B potential. Only 3 pitches, but Chad, I'd say you're 2 for 2 so far. Newton Whitmore is a very interesting player. Only a C potential, but he has a 75 overall at 18 years old. So he might not be a superstar, but he is already a major league level player. That's not too bad. It is true that neither have secondary positions, so take a look at your future at second base. It's Estrada with Whitmore behind him. Del John, 66 overall at 18 years old, C potential. Future 5, maybe long reliever out of the pen. That's not too bad. That's solid as well. Not a home run, but it's solid. Weber, that's not good. His overall is way, way too low at 18 years old. Only a C potential. It was a late pick. It's going to take him forever to develop. And Doug Ritchie has a better chance of making the majors, I would say, because he starts at a 64. But he's also not amazing, right? Sam, we're doing all right. Otto Eichinger is also not amazing. He's only a 46 at 22. So, top end of the draft, pretty damn good, especially for Estrada, who is just barely an A. Bottom half of the draft at the relievers, not so hot. Solid draft. Not the craziest class we've ever seen, but solid. For my White Sox, Garrison's not bad. He's not bad. Not quite what I'd want from a 4th overall pick, but he will be a future first baseman, a future starter for me. He's just not going to be a future Hall of Famer or anything like that. So that's not too bad. Davis Kingman, he'll be a future reliever. He won't be a reliever of the year, but again, not bad. Zapata, that's a good pick. That's a good pick, at least. I get another good closer in Andreas Zapata. Not bad. Carl Mize, also not bad. Future 5, 6, 7 in the depth chart starter. I mean, my pitching staff is pretty much already built. Woo, Brian Duncan. He's got a ways to go overall-wise, but that's a pretty good project pick right there. The form of third baseman Brian Duncan. I like it. Josh Saito. Also a big-time project, but he's got time, and he's got potential. Whew. And, of course, I wasn't able to sign Quezada at the end. Solid picks for pitchers. A solid first baseman. 2 projects with high potential. Pretty damn good draft. I would take my draft class over yours, although I think you got the best player. So that's kind of the debate. I had the better overall draft. You had the better individual player. So depends on how you view it. But we both did very well. Let's take a look elsewhere here. Let's take a look elsewhere and see what we got going on. What the hell am I looking for on OBS here? There we go. Bring myself up here. So Cleveland sucked. Cleveland always manages to disappoint somehow. Detroit. Genji Milano only a 59 at 22, which isn't great. That's not great. Only a 59 at 22. I mean, you got to figure he's 16 overall points away. Like, he'll make the majors in his mid to late 20s. So, not amazing. Kansas City, JT Karros was solid. I'm still happier with the guy that I drafted. JT Karros is pretty good. Damon Seaver wouldn't have been too bad either. Let's see. Minnesota. Jesus Christ, Minnesota. They made up for it with Steven Schreier. He was solid. Very good, actually. Rob Jimenez, also pretty damn good. That was about it for them. Houston. Okay. Thank God that guy's only a 55 at 19. He's a project. And Fisher, solid. God damn it, Houston. Liriano's not going to make it. He's only a 50 at 22. 2 decent picks at the top, though, for the Astros with late picks. Angels with DeJesus, very good at a young age. And Darryl Cartwright as well. So 2 decent starters going to the Angels. First overall pick, Diego Oliva. We both got a better player than him with our picks at 3 and 4. The poor Athletics, man. The poor Athletics. Seattle. I mean, Escobedo's not bad, but he has a C potential to start. Rick Park. That overall's low. He's got time to develop, but that overall's low. And Jerry Shea. That overall's abysmal. He's got time, but Jesus, he's 30 points away from being usable. Texas. Good pickup in Arthur Albrecht, the closer. Aside from that, not too much to speak of. Atlanta. Well, turned out Nicholas was pretty good. Shout out to Walter Bong as well. Miami. Fantastic pick with Darren Street. Not much else aside from that in terms of high-end potential, but a great pick with Darren Street. The Mets. Well, they tried. They tried. Philly with Adam Grimm. Solid. James Graham. Solid. Even Woodrow wouldn't have been too bad for a C potential. Abdul Poe, his overall's way too low. 2 solid top picks for the Phillies. Washington. Oh, my God. Washington needs a new scouting department. Chicago. Jason Humber. Solid pick. Project. It'll take a while to develop, but a good pick. They also ended up with Howard O'Reilly. Man, that's good. I almost took Howard O'Reilly as well. I went for another player who was about the same thing in terms of a project. But quite a few projects for the Cubs, but that could pay off down the road. Cincy, Robert Manuel, solid. 69 overall, 21 years old. Ended up with nothing else overly special. Milwaukee with Kent Lentz. Yeah, Kent was good. Kent was good. I knew he was good, but I needed the first baseman more than I needed him. I don't know if I'd change. Damn. Maybe I should have gone for him, but I really did need another starter. If I was in control of trades, I probably would have gone for Kent. Rick Ambrose, also a very solid pick for Milwaukee. And at the very end, Dodson's too low of an overall at 23. Two good picks at the top, though, for Milwaukee. Pittsburgh took Kobayashi. I'm happy with the first baseman. I think I made the right choice taking the first baseman over Kobayashi because he is just pure power and nothing else. If I could have gotten that guy in the competitive balance round like I wanted, I'd have been ecstatic. But I took the right guy between the two positions in need I was debating between. Isaiah Smith, solid. Brian Matsui, solid. Charlie Beam, too low of an overall at his age. So all in all, not too bad. Can I see the first baseman you're talking about? Yes. I ended up with Elvin Garrison. Which, again, he's kind of the opposite, right? Like, he's got the fielding, but he also has the contact. I'm pretty happy with Garrison. For me, it was either... oh, God, we got to go all the way around. For me, it was either Garrison, Kent Lentz, but I don't need any more starters, or it was Kobayashi. I'm pretty happy with my choice. St. Louis took Wimberly. We pretty much knew Wimberly was going to be good as well, and he is. Good pickup for them. They also got a great reliever in Peter Taylor. 59 overall at 18. That's pretty damn good for where he was chosen. Arizona, holy shit. Some teams really struggled in this draft. They really did. They really did. Colorado, of course, your team. We've already looked. The Dodgers. Oh, my God. Carlos Alfonso's solid. I wish I took him instead of the reliever. Because I needed a third baseman, but I felt like that guy wasn't a sure thing. We both had very good drafts in comparison. But, man, the Dodgers, that's a bad one. I mean, San Diego, Matt Braun, he'll make it, but he won't be anything too crazy. Not a great draft for the Padres in terms of high-end potential. The Giants, also not with a single B potential player. Wow. Baltimore. I mean, Griffith is okay for a C potential. Rob Letier, solid project. Will McCabe overall is a little bit low. Not a great draft for Baltimore. Boston, Josh Nance. It's okay. It's okay. He won't be an ace, but he's all right. Cousins, that overall is low. Same for Michael Lee. Two long shot projects. Yankees, Brian Rowland is okay. Antoine Kohler is fantastic for not being a first-round pick. Damn. Tampa. Good old Harry Willie. He was okay. See potential, though. Good pick for Jeff Griffin in the second round or even the competitive balance round. One of the two. Blue Jays, not great. They also did not sign Magana. Rough draft for Toronto. And that brings us back to the White Sox. So overall, yeah, I do think both of us did pretty damn well. Whoops. Could we have done a little bit better? Maybe in one aspect or another. But you're never going to have a perfect draft. But all in all, pretty damn good. Especially for you guys getting Estrada third overall. It was a good pick. That was your best pick yet, easily.